I've officially owned the Steam Deck for 6 months and I've got some regrets. And no, not the regrets you're probably anticipating me talking about. As I have played this thing over the last 6 months, I have come to realize that I have a sense of missed opportunity and a deep sense of regret when it comes to my financial investments. And that's what I want to talk about today with all of you nerds. So let's just jump right into the video. Hope you're having a great day. Let's dive into it. Okay, I've got some reflections here in my handy dandy notebook about the Steam Deck, and I want to just share some raw thoughts with all of you. The first real regret that I have, believe it or not, is I should have bought the Steam Deck sooner. No, I'm not being silly. No, I'm not being clickbait. You see that thing right there? That gaming laptop? Yeah, that thing is a workhorse. But you know what the problem is? Is that I chose that over this. Okay, and for my use case, that was a dumb decision. You know why? I became a father. Yay, amazing moment in my life. And my job requires extensive travel and international living. Okay, so I thought that by getting rid of my gaming PC tower, that the best option would be getting a gaming laptop. But guess what? I never play it, except for playing cool Naruto fight scenes in the background. I should have chose the Steam Deck. For my use case, all the games that I want to play are running just perfectly fine on the Steam Deck. And you know what? I was too afraid to commit to a handheld PC. For what I paid, or the cash value that I got for trading in my gaming tower for the laptop, I could have gotten the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, which would have been, in my opinion, way better than a gaming laptop for my use case. And I regret it because look at these games that I've been playing recently. Dark Souls, Megabonk, Halo, Risk of Rain 2, freaking Persona 3, Fallout New Vegas, games that are just incredible. And you know what? I should have chose the Steam Deck. And that's my biggest regret. After spending 6 months with the Steam Deck, I realized that I was too much of a coward to commit going fully untethered. Right? I was too scared to fully untether myself from a traditional gaming laptop or PC experience. But you know what? My season of life leaves room for this kind of thing. My season of life does not leave room for me coming into the gaming office alone and shutting myself in here and playing for hours on a computer anymore. And that is my biggest regret after actually owning the Steam Deck for 6 months. Okay, my second observation that I have in my notebook is that I should have traveled more. Yes, I do travel for work, but I'm talking about like personal trips, right? There's a lot of opportunities that I would like to experience the Steam Deck in different settings, okay? I would love to go on a long train ride, look out the beautiful window, countryside, out of the windows, and play a very immersive game, feeling the wind on my face. That is one experience I want. Another thing is I think just more airplane trips, maybe travel home to see my family more and just bring along the Steam Deck. I wish that I had done more of that in the last 6 months, because now that I'm enabled to bring my favorite PC games on the go, I wish that I maybe just did that more. And the biggest takeaway for this channel really is, we talk about handhelds here, right? But most of my videos are produced here in my gaming office. Like, I want to take this out, okay? I want to shoot my videos and go play Fallout New Vegas in a coffee shop for a few hours on a Saturday with a cup of iced coffee and a baguette. I'm not doing that. You know why? Because subconsciously, I'm still thinking that like peak gaming experiences have to be in your house, on a couch, or in your gaming room. But really, if I'm embracing the handheld form factors, I should be touching grass, going out in nature way more, even like a camping trip. Right? Those are the things that I wish that I was doing more in the last 6 months, and things that I want to personally commit to moving forward now that I have the Steam Deck. And that's really probably the biggest, self-awareness call to action that I want to lean into, is getting out there more now that I actually can be untethered and still experience amazing gaming. Okay, this next observation in my handy dandy notebook. This one's gonna get spicy, guys. Okay, before you dislike the video, just hear me out, okay? I invested in the wrong backlogs. Okay, so let me just rewind a little bit. In the drawer behind here, you can't see them, I've got a ton of Switch games. I mean, I was collecting Switch games like crazy during the peak Switch life cycle. And even towards the end, before the Switch 2 dropped, I've got a ton of titles. Same thing with PS4 and PS5. All games that I no longer have time to sit down in a console like experience. Okay, so when it comes to the PS5, I don't have time to sit down and play Final Fantasy 15. That's on my backlog. I don't have time to go sit in the living room by myself and play through that. My life doesn't allow it. But I've rebought Final Fantasy 15 on Steam, and now I feel enabled to play through that game because I'm able to pick it up, play, and then I can close the Steam Deck and resume at a later point. Or if my child is taking a nap, I can pull this out wherever he falls asleep. Way easier for me to immerse myself in a backlog that's being built on the Steam Deck. Now, you might be thinking, well, what, your Switch is also portable. That is correct. However, when I travel, I don't want to bring two handhelds. I want to bring one. And for the cost that I invested on my Switch for some of those indie titles, they are drastically cheaper on Steam. And that's a big financial investment regret that I have, is that I bought some Switch titles that are like 2-3x for what they go for on Steam. And I wish that I had not only gotten the Steam Deck sooner, but invested my backlog on Steam and on the Steam Deck. And the beautiful part is if there is a weekend that comes up and I'm building up my Steam backlog, like I can play it on the Steam Deck, or because I have a gaming laptop, I can sit down and play on my curved monitor, which is great. So again, I don't think the Switch is bad. I'm not crapping on the Switch. I just regret not focusing the dollars into where I ultimately will probably end up spending most of my gaming time moving forward, now that I'm a dad and I have a very, very busy life. Okay, the last reflection that I have in my journal about the Steam Deck, and this one is more of a missed opportunity. As I was wallowing and not sure if I should get a gaming laptop or, a handheld PC, I missed out on a couple of opportunities. If you're new to the channel, you should go check out my 3DS video. I rebuilt my 3DS in the full glacier white body. It looks beautiful. It looks clean. I love my handhelds in the glacier white, just aesthetic. I think it just looks really, really nice. And I had seen that at one point the Steam Deck was released in an all white model, and I regret missing that opportunity. Yes, I know I can go on eBay, buy them secondhand, or there's probably even some models that are new on eBay, but are astronomically priced. And I just don't want to pay that. I regret not getting the white Steam Deck when it dropped. Additionally, I regret not getting the special edition, the one that has like the red joysticks underneath. Like that just looks so clean. And I really wished I had gotten it when it was like available new, without it being price gouged. And if that ever comes back on the market, I am absolutely going to be grabbing that and then reselling this model. I think it looks really, really nice. And I just regret not snagging it when I was deciding if I wanted to stay with a gaming laptop or consider a handheld PC. The other regret, now that I've actually spent 6 months with the Steam Deck, is that I do wish I carried more games with me on the deck, but I went for the 512 gigabyte versus the 1 terabyte. And that is a big regret because, I thought, well, let me see how I do with it. I don't need a full terabyte. Oh no, you do. You will want a full terabyte. That's probably my biggest regret. Sure, I can do an internal upgrade, but I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that really likes to have an out of box experience. Just let it be 1 terabyte, throw in a 2 terabyte card, and then you've got 3 terabytes of storage. I'm finding myself having to delete and install other games, which is not a problem. And I do think, it's important to not, with a culture that's overstimulated, it's probably good to carry fewer games with you, but it might be nice to be able to carry a more robust backlog of some of the bigger games that I have without worrying about running out of space. And that's probably the biggest regret that I have in terms of the actual hardware. Now, I will say overall, my time with the Steam Deck for the last 6 months has been incredible. I've got to experience games that I just have been putting off for years because I haven't had time to sit down in a dedicated console experience. For instance, New Vegas, okay? I've always been a Skyrim guy, played Oblivion, played Skyrim, but I've kind of just never, I've never played a Fallout game, but I've been avoiding New Vegas because I'm thinking I don't have time. But guess what? In this form factor, I do have time. I have pockets of time that when you add them all together, I can actually get through these big titles so much easier. And I don't know, I've really regretted not grabbing a handheld PC like the Steam Deck sooner because just got so many amazing games. If you would have told me when I was a kid that one day I would be bringing Halo in my pockets or in my book bag, oh my gosh, that my younger self would have just freaked out. So there's a lot of nostalgia baked into the Steam Deck as well as just like great modern experience. I've loved my Steam Deck. It's been incredible. The community's been really fun to connect with. All of you in the Discord have been so amazing to hang out with, talk with. It's been really, really fun. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope your grandma's doing well. Tell her I said hi. Go check out my other videos. And if you want to win a little goodie from me, consider joining my free newsletter. Link is in the description. I give away a special gift to a lucky winner every single month. And if you want to win a little goodie, go check it out. It'd mean a lot to me. It's a great way to support me. And if you want to support this channel and you like the content, consider becoming a YouTube member where I've got some exclusive videos just for you as a way to say thank you. So hope you guys are doing well. Stay healthy. Go touch some grass. Bring your Steam Deck outside. Get some fresh air. Tell your grandma I said hello. And until the next video, I'll see you all then. Bye.